Hello, so this is a Voyager breakdown. I've done this as a 360 video, so you should be able to pan around and zoom in to anything you want and pause it whenever it seems to be going too fast. Now, unfortunately, there was a new project that was in the way of opening the door, so later on I'll be attaching an earlier video showing how the platform folds out. So coming around to this side instead, we can see the narrow wheelchair. Now, just before I take this out, I just thought I'd do some detail shots of the outside of the vehicle. So if I just switch to some phone footage here, we can see the seam that runs along the vehicle. This is one of the reasons why the painting takes a full 4 weeks. They've got to fill in all of these gaps with sealer. So it won't be noticeable. We could always cover it with the red stripe half pipe, but leaving that off for now would save cost. Now looking underneath the vehicle, we can see the space underneath the floor where the inverter and batteries could go. Again, leaving this off for now because we can rely on external hookup power, but the floor panel is removable so that space can be accessed. Now just walking over to the front, you can see there's a lot of work for the painter to do, but none of this should be visible once it's painted. This should all be very smooth. And you can see that we've finally got the shape that we wanted initially from the renders. So just walking around to the door now, you can see the trim that goes over the panels just to cover the ends. And I cover the inside of the door later on, so we'll have a closer look at that in a bit. You can see here the lanterns on the back have been installed. We'll have another look at them closer up later on, but these are all going to be painted, so they're going to be a nice matte black. Now if we just pause here, this is the side that doesn't have a platform. If we do want to use this side, I suggest we make it an entrance only and have the stairs connect straight to the floor, which would be completely safe and save on cost. So going into the vehicle now. At this time, while the project is paused, everything relating to the Voyager is being kept inside here. So I just want to take a second here to pause and compare this to a 360 view of the render. So the interactive console isn't visible in this version, so we can see a closer comparison. There is the fold-down bench at the back there, the cladding on the sides, and the ceiling panel with the spotlights. Now, I did record audio on site, but it's rather echoey, so just going to dub over it here. Just having a look at the storage space, this will be hidden by the interactive console. And the fiberglass components. There's a shot here of a previous visit where they were laid out on the floor. These were the molds created from the CNC plugs that we had made. So this is the inverse of that shape, which is ready to be fiberglassed inside of to get our final fiberglass components. Now I'll just pause here and play the video from an earlier visit. If you don't mind just showing how it goes. Okay. Yeah, thanks. So that's for wheelchair access, or if you want it with stairs straight out. Yeah. Brilliant. And then if we just show it how it folds away.
Yep.
So but now just to have a quick close look at the mechanism behind this. You have these custom-made, extremely heavy-duty hinges that have been welded onto the platform, and then the box section that sticks out means that the platform locks at 90 degrees and can't go any lower once it's been folded down. Just pointing out here where the mounts for the guardrails are. At the moment this has been spot welded, so everything needs to be going over. And this is the staircase, which will hook onto the platform. So there's going to be locking bolts, which will stop it from coming unhooked if the van tilts as people are climbing on and off it on its suspension. We'll also need to get one more staircase made for the other side if we choose to use that side. Have a look at the inside of the door panel now. So everything on the inside, all of that rough grind work and the bolts that are coming through, that will be hidden by the internal door section. And then there's going to be another piece that folds out. Just taking a look at the wall now. So you can see this is 3mm sheet aluminium all the way around. And then we have box section and another sheet of aluminium on the inside that wraps around. So it looks quite chunky, but you're not going to have the weight. 3mm is actually extremely thick for automotive grade. Normally it's 1.3, 1.5 absolute max. So it's incredibly sturdy. Now when it comes to that hole right there, that's going to be plugged up with one of the plastic box section end pieces. And the painter will be smoothing the top over, but even so, I think we should have a wooden handrail. I think especially for kids that will want to hold on to the edges. Not just safety, I think it'll look better as well if there's a nice oiled piece of wood. Now you can see the cladding here. And here's some photos from a previous visit. You can see the sides have been cut to an angle to fit the roof, and there have been notches cut out ready to fit. Having a look at the box of trim now. This one's actually an early test when the machine needed alignment. There's the finished version. And on the old car seat. And here are the actual headrests. We've got 2 rolls of vinyl, so there's plenty to sew this with. But as I said in the breakdown document, I think we should leave this until afterwards, just as a future upgrade, and then we can get the Voyager on the road earlier. The rest of this box is filled with rubber trim and the shiny plastic inserts. So these would go around each one of the 4 windows at the back. So again, if we just pause and do a bit of editing to remove me, then I thought we could compare the render to the 360 again. And if we also have a look at the version with the interactive console and in daylight. Quick look at the ceiling. You can see these spaces they've used with grip fill, so the plywood would sit below them. and then the spotlights sit in the cavity inside. Just having a look at the back, where the fold-down bench would go and the TV space is. We just need to cut a panel out of this sheet to access the HDMI ports and the inputs. For the TV cover, my suggestion is that we leave it off for now and just have the Perspex panel protecting the TV. It needs an aluminium sheet and a pulley system rigged up. There's also the brake lights that have been fitted and do work and tested. Now just having a look at the rear lanterns, they're all wired up. The wires travel through the box section and out into the floor where they meet the cab. There's blanking plates on the inside, and then on the outside edges it's orange, and on the back it's red. Something I didn't show the first time with the Viperglass. The hubcaps with the P symbol on the inside. So this mould will be used 4 times. So last look at the outside, close up of the flagpoles, again something we can fill in future. And the seam that will also be fixed by the painter. The wheelchair does actually fold up so it's flat. I'm just not doing that because there's a box currently inside there. Okay, well, thanks for watching my video breakdown of the Voyager. If you've got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.